Hey guys, welcome back to Life with 18 Cats, our live Let's Chat. We are really super excited to be here with a really special guest today. Everybody, please make sure you hit the like button on your way in or on your way out. Either way, it doesn't matter. Just hit the like button for us. And hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's staying warm wherever you are. Mary Miles is checking in. Hello from Wyoming. Hello, Mary Miles. How are you doing today? Ruby Dawn, I'm here as long as my power stays on. It's been really sketchy. Oh, I know you've been having issues with that, honey. I hope your power stays on. I hope you stay warm. Deborah McCartney, good morning and happy Tuesday, everyone. Yes, Deborah, thank you so much for being here, you guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm not going to keep everybody in suspense for too long here. I'm going to introduce everybody to our special guest today here real soon. Catitudes checking in. Hello, everyone. Just checking in. You are on 3 TVs and 1 computer right now. I'll be back and forth. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate that so much. You're a doll. Okay, so without any further ado, this woman does not need hardly any introduction at all. We have got Hannah from Catmanjohn and her cat Russell, who she has taught how to communicate using buttons. Hello, Hannah. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, no problem. So everyone, this is Hannah. Hannah has a cat named Russell. She actually has a couple cats, but Russell's the one who has taken to the button teachings. Would you like to just, first of all, let's do the obvious. We talked about this beforehand, but let's let everybody else know. How did we come up with the name Catmanjohn?
Sure. So in March 2020, like most people, I downloaded TikTok because I didn't have anything else to do. And I remember just like scrolling through and watching different videos and seeing cat videos and just getting really excited and inspired. And I think Dylan and I were like, let's just do it. Let's just start a channel. So we posted a video. I think it was probably an intro to all 4 cats. And the second video that we posted went viral. And we didn't have a username. So we were username 760555582. So we were just trying to quickly come up with the username. We didn't really know what to do. And we had posted a 3rd video of Russell playing with his spring. And it was a very chaotic video. He was running all around. So we ended up using an audio from the Catmanjohn. So I think Dylan kind of put 2 and 2 together. And he was like, wait, why don't we just be Catmanjohn? So the name stuck very quickly as our videos kept performing very well. And we kind of just turned it into our brand. So.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that story. That is a cute story. I think everybody would probably agree that it's just not the story you expect, because I think people would expect that somewhere along the line you had another cat or something that was like an honor to that cat, or that's what I think that's what I envisioned for that name. So when you told me that story, I was like, that is the cutest story. I love that so much. It's so cool. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah,
I says, hi, Hannah.
Hi, Dee. I'm so happy to be here.
So here's my next question. So now, how many cats do you have?
So we have 4. I like to tell everybody that we have 2 on purpose and 2 by accident, because we adopted my 2 cats, Winnie and Libby, in 2016. So right after I graduated from college, and we adopted them as kittens, and obviously still have them, and they're so wonderful. They'll be 8 in May. And then I got into grad school at the University of Florida. So we went down to Florida. And Dylan, my husband at the time, he was just my boyfriend, but he came with me, and I think he was just like looking for something more to do. And so we went, as most people do, to pick up some cat food, and we left with 2 little kittens that we were fostering. And, the rest is history. There's just, no other explanation other than we obviously just fell in love and had to keep them. So.
Trust me, I get it. I get it. Okay, so now on to what everybody wants to know about. First of all, I saw one of your shorts kind of showing how you were training Russell, and from what I could see, you were kind of using the clicker.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So how does that work?
Just to preface, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I did not go to school for this. I'm not an animal behaviorist or a cat trainer or a vet. This is just something that I decided to teach Russell, and he also decided to learn. So I went to YouTube and I typed in how to train a cat with a clicker. And there was a video of a woman who had a little kitten and a button, and she clicker trained the cat how to, I think it was just touching the button at the time, but I was like, I totally understand this. The concept is there. And so I took time to individually try to teach all four of my cats. And I would put the button in front of Libby and she would walk away. I would put the button in front of Winnie and she would just loaf. And then, I put the button in front of Russell and Russell was just like, ooh, we're doing something. What are we doing? Let's have so much fun. I like this. I like to learn. And so it was really easy. And when I tried with Teen definitely got it to the point of like touching the side of the button, but I think Russell was like the true champion. So basically, I just went through the steps of like, let's understand the button does something. When we look at the button, we'll click and reward for that. When we then touch the button, we'll click and reward for that. And then eventually we just move on to actually physically pressing the button, which is definitely the hardest part for Russell. But at the time we were training with like my bigger recordable answer buttons, so it was just a little harder to for him. I think learners now, if they were to start with a smaller button, would definitely be better off.
And how many buttons does he know right now?
I just counted yesterday, actually. He has 51. And he's like, playing the keyboard, walking down these buttons. Like he usually uses only 2 or 3 at a time. And he has buttons that are his favorite and some that he uses less often. But as of right now, he definitely
51.
I have a question.
I
have a question about the buttons. Like, what are you trying to teach Russell using the buttons? Like, can you explain to myself as well? Because I'm, just like many of the audience members. Are you trying to teach him to communicate with you? Is that the idea behind the buttons?
So I like to say that Russell's always been communicating with me. I just finally got to the point where I was like, this is a me problem and I don't understand him. Like, how can I better understand him? As I mentioned, when I was in grad school and we got them, he was, Teen and Russell were very little. They were kittens. And Russell was just so vocal. He was meowing all the time. I used to joke that he was just going to come up with a human voice one day and just like start talking, which is kind of weird what I manifested. But he was just so smart. And I would notice things that he would do, like his little spring toy that I mentioned earlier. He would bring it and our bedroom had carpet, but the bathroom had, vinyl flooring. And he would drop the spring really loud on the vinyl floor so I could hear it. And so if I was in my bedroom or sitting in my bed, I'd be like, I know he just did that so I could hear him. So I would get up and play with him. And it was just like little things like that I really noticed. Like Russell was just really smart, very, very aware of the litter box and how full it was. And just the things that I started to tune into and pay attention to, like the more that I did that, the more that I realized that he had so much to say and so much that he wanted to talk about. So I feel like, to answer your question, Russell has always been communicating. I just gave him a way to communicate that I could understand.
You gave him a voice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so incredibly cool. So now I'm just going to tell you, I found you through someone who is a subscriber on both of our channels, Wanda. And Wanda told me about some interactions between your husband and Russell that are kind of funny when it comes to cleaning.
Yes, totally. So I mean, I totally don't want to throw Dylan under the bus here, but I think cleanliness is more important to me and tidiness. Yes. I think I maybe go above and beyond the average person, which I think Russell is very happy about. So there are certain times when Dylan will do something or Russell will request something and Dylan just doesn't do it right away. And so then Russell will be like, Dylan, mad, like, and is very expressive and like, this is bothering me and I'm communicating this to you, please meet my needs. And so I think Dylan is definitely a little bit more on the side of like, give me 5 minutes, instead of just like me, who's just like, I'll give you whatever you want all the time. Right. So he's a little spoiled.
Because they're all spoiled and they deserve to be spoiled. I mean, really, they do. I think that's hilarious. Wanda was filling me in on how funny it is to watch the interactions between Dylan and Russell. So I've caught a couple of them and I'm just like, that is hilarious. I love it.
So funny.
Even though you jump into action when he says something, to watch Dylan kind of go, I'll do it in a minute. And to watch Russell's like panic, just no, do it now. And it's so funny. I love it so much.
They have such a wonderful relationship and I totally play up the antics for the camera, but behind the scenes, Russell and Dylan love each other very much. And they spend a ton of quality time together and they bond in different ways than Russell and I bond. So I think that's really nice as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome that they have their own little bond. Because I think sometimes people try to mimic the bond they see that the main person has with an animal. whether it be a cat or a dog or whatever, and you can't mimic somebody else's relationship. You've got to find your own way to communicate and relate to that animal on your own level. It just, yeah, everybody's relationship with their animal is different. So yeah, so that's awesome. I'm so glad. So now, can you, is Russell nearby?
Russell is nearby. He is actively loafing. He's almost
Loafing.
there and loaf.
Loaf.
Literally, that was a play-by-play.
Russell's like, I know that you want me to pay attention, and I'm not going to. Done.
Yes, I think he does two things when I have calls. Either he really wants something from me, and he'll go over and he'll press his buttons. No, mad, later, bye is definitely one that he's like, okay, we're done with this. And then the other mode is like, okay, I kind of understand something important is happening. Let me give her some space. So
that's
I think
so
he's
cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's
adorable. I have my cat Libby sitting right next to me, though. I can pop her on the camera if you guys want to.
I would love it. Yeah, I would love it if you have one that's available and wants to. That's great.
This is my beautiful Libby.
Oh, Libby, you're so cute. What a beauty. She's so pretty.
Beautiful.
She is. I love the face. I love the little mark on the face. That's so cute.
Her sister Winnie also has like the split face, but Libby's is split and then more of like, you know, brownish, tannish fur, and Winnie's is black and then white. So Winnie kind of has that stark contrast, and Libby is a little bit more. Her beauty's a little bit more like you kind of have to look a little harder, but she is.
No, I think they're all beautiful. Yeah. So she's a tortie.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know Russell he's white and orange. Is there any kind of like pattern name for him? Like some people have calicos, torties, things like that.
I like to call Russell my creamsicle because he's just, just a domestic short hair, and it's just kind of how his pattern ended up. But he's very handsome. Yes. And one of my favorite things about Russell is he has a little spot right on the center of his chest, and people love to comment about how that's like his badge of honor or his sheriff's badge. And I'm like, yeah, he wears that proudly. I'll tell you that.
Sure. That's so cute. I just don't want this to go unnoticed. Thank you very much, Jack. Hi, good morning.
Aww.
Very, very nice of you. Thank you for the 5. Okay. And Barbara's checking in. Good morning from California. Good morning. I hope you're staying warm out there in California. I know that weather is relative to where you are. So even though I would give anything to be in your temperature right now, I know for you that it is probably very, very cold. So please stay warm, stay inside, and just stay safe, guys. It's been miserable lately across the entire country, not just where I'm at. So yeah. So, okay. So next thing, can you, I know that you said your buttons are right behind you on the floor. Is there a way can you just tip your camera down and just show everybody what the buttons look like?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So here is our button board.
Okay.
There we go. So we've kind of played around with a bunch of different boards. The board that we have right now is from Fluent Pet. This is their newest, I guess, model of buttons and board. And as you can see, we have some of the bigger buttons and some of the smaller buttons. So I guess I should have grabbed a button to bring it over here. But the recordable answer buttons are what we started with. Those are those big, colorful buttons. And then the smaller buttons are from Fluent Pet. And I actually have 3 different Fluent Pet buttons. The ones that I use, the ones that I have, I got most recently are the Fluent Pet Connect buttons. And those ones have completely blown my mind. Every time Russell presses one of them, they're Wi-Fi enabled, so they connect to, it's called the Connect base. And so every time Russell presses one of those buttons, I'll get a notification to my phone with what he said. So I posted a video a couple of days ago. Dylan and I were going in the bathroom to clean. It was just time to do a deep clean in the bathroom, and I was using chemicals. I just was cleaning in my bathroom. I went to the store and I bought bathroom cleaner. And we're in the bathroom, the vent fan's on, all the doors are closed, so I can't hear anything. And I get out and I check my phone and I see all these notifications that's like, smell, ouch, bubbles, smell, ouch. And I'm like, Jill, did you press this? Did you tell him that we were going to do this? He's like, no. And so I checked my camera and there was Russell, like very clearly communicating that the smell of the cleaning supplies was bothering him. Wow. And, we just didn't know that. So I posted the video because I was like, this blew my mind. Everybody should see this, So
I saw that video. It was amazing.
It was amazing. That was just one of the coolest things. But that was one of the reasons that I was like so thankful for the connect buttons, because I would have never known. I would have continued to use that cleaner, which we will never use again. But
That's crazy. I mean, I guess I never thought about that when you're cleaning your house and those, because I mean, some of those chemicals, they make my nose hurt. Never in a million years did I think to myself, oh, this could be bothering the cats. Never did I ever think about that. But I saw your video, which I thought was amazing. I was just sitting there just going, wow, the whole time I was watching it. Once I figured out what he was trying to communicate, I was like, he's literally saying, so I looked at my cats and I'm like, how come y'all don't tell me that? And they just all looking at me like, we don't have buttons, Mom.
Yes, totally. That's not the first time Russell's done that either. Somewhat recently, I actually was walking around and I love candles. So I was burning candles in our apartment. And there's one that I know that Russell doesn't like it, because every time he lays down, he always lays down with his paw over his nose, but he hasn't like left the room. It seems like he can tolerate it. So I went to light it the other day, and I think that was the final straw for him. And he just kept pressing smell. And I was like, I literally just lit the candles. Like, are the candles bothering you? And so I, turned off all the candles, and I had posted the video, and so many people had like brought to my attention how some of the chemicals and just common candles that you can buy are toxic for cats. And so I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, no more candles. And then, Russell's a big guy for cleanliness, and he loves his laundry button, and the scent of laundry detergent has bothered him. So he has not brought to my attention that the laundry smell bothers him since I changed his scentless detergent. Which is also
Really? So I wonder if that's true across the board. That most cats are bothered by that. I know that I used to do the wax melts around the house and I know you got to take everything you read online with a grain of salt, because online they say everything. They can tell you the sky is green with purple polka dots, and it's like, okay, no, it's not. But I did kind of look into it a little bit, talk to one of my vets, and it turns out that, yeah, those wax melt ones have really thick, like, I guess, for lack of a better way to explain it, it has really thick molecules for the smell in the air, and it can attach itself to their fur when they're around them. And then they obviously are licking their fur all the time. And so, yes, those molecules from those wax melts can get on their fur and actually make a chemical like coating on their fur, and then they lick them off. And it can, I mean, I'm sure it's something that's very rare. Otherwise, we'd hear about it on a news report, But yeah, no, the vet did verify that can be a thing. So just be careful with how much you're doing it, and make sure you're monitoring your cats to make sure that they're not showing any signs of being sick or anything, or having an upset tummy. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, no more wax melts. Is there anything I can do?
Seriously. Well, I mean, it's funny to me, because I'm like, why is it taking my cat to get me to realize that I should be using like natural cleaning products in, various forms, or scented candles? But I'm like, okay, he knows better than I do. I'll listen to him.
Yeah. So. And that's pretty much what the vet said too. Cause I'm like, well, what can I use? And they're like, you can use natural things. Like if I want a certain scent in the house, if I want an apple cinnamon, all I got to do is cut up some apples, get some cinnamon sticks, boil them in a pan on the stove, done. It's nice and natural. And I don't got to worry about my cats getting sick, even if they got into it.
Yes.
Whereas I can't tell you how many times I've found a kitty tail dipped in wax.
Oh no.
Because they walk right by and just drag their tail right through the wax melt. I'm like, okay, that's enough of that. Because getting that wax off of a tail is not fun.
Oh, I bet it's not fun. Oh,
no, that was a long time
we haven't had that yet, but
yeah, no, don't. Yeah, make sure you don't, because getting it out is not fun. And then they try to get it off themselves, which means they're now ingesting it. So yeah, so that's kind of the end of that for my house.
Well, good for you. Good. I mean, you're also listening to them, so that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm, here's another. Now, you said something about the springs. Now, the reason why this caught my attention is because I've got two now, that will actually play fetch. I've got my little Sadie and my little Chewy. Chewy's the 19th one that wasn't supposed to, he's my like my addition. So everybody says I've got the channel's now 18 cats plus one.
Yes.
But they play fetch. So only with the springs though. If I throw the spring, they will literally play fetch until I'm done playing fetch. And so you said something about the spring, and Russell making sure you knew about the spring and bringing it to certain locations. So does Russell will actually play fetch with the spring?
Oh yeah. Yep. The spring and his Mousy are the only two toys that he'll play fetch with, but he loves to play fetch, especially with his spring. I think he likes that the spring is like constantly moving.
Yes.
So like the prey doesn't stop. And so it's just really Right.
And all they have to do is touch it and it starts going on its own again. So yeah, they do love that. I've noticed that. So now I'm wondering if, since they have that in common, Russell and my two, I'm wondering if maybe those two might be more able to learn the buttons because of the fact that they're able to do that.
I mean, definitely.
Oh,
I don't think that there's. Please do, by all means. I mean, change my life for the better 100-fold, and his life, and the other cat's lives probably, because he asks for things on their behalf as well. So
that's so cute. My concern would be is because there's 19 of them running around, how often would I be running toward those buttons because of a false alarm because somebody's just running through the room?
Yes, happens a lot here.
Does it really? Okay, I'm glad that happens a lot, because I was like, how do you know when it's an actual thing and when it's just them? But I suppose you have your cameras, you have the alert thing on your phone, which is super cool. I didn't even know you could do that. So
technology.
Now you just mentioned it, but I want you to mention it again because I think it bears repeating. Where did you get the buttons from? Because I want to make sure everybody knows where they can get them from.
Yeah, definitely. So if anybody's interested in getting the buttons from Fluent Pet, you can check them out on their website. I actually have an affiliate code. I can maybe put it in the chat just so you can save 20%. I am an affiliate.
And you can put it in the description too if you share it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. It's just Chatty Pets 032 with a capital C and a capital P. But I can write that down somewhere so people can.
Yeah. If you want to put it in the comments, and then afterwards we'll have it put in our description too, so that they can use your code if they want to.
I also I can pull up I found the website.
Okay.
So if you want to show.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I do. I think anybody that's interested in this should definitely go to it and check it out. And for sure, I want to go ahead and make sure that everybody uses your code and get you the credit for it if they do.
Thank you. Yeah. They also have a ton of resources on teaching.
Does that look right, Hannah? I'm sorry.
Yes. Yep. Okay, that's exactly right. And that's the board that we're using right now. And the connect buttons are what we're using as well.
Okay.
And then, like I said, you can use my code for 20% off. And they have different button packs, so you don't have to start and buy 12 buttons all at the same time. And they also have some of their older models, I think. I'm not sure. I haven't checked the website super recently, but from what I last knew, that they were still having some of the older buttons, which is probably a little less expensive.
So now, can you buy just one button at a time, or does it have to be packs of more than one?
I'm actually not sure. I know that Fluent Pet at one time had just one button for sale, just so that you could get started, but I'm not sure what the size of their smallest pack is just right now.
Okay. And you said the code was, and like I said, we'll share it later, but just for the record, you said Chatty Pet
032 with a capital C and a capital P.
Okay, perfect. So there you go, guys. If you guys are interested in the pets, there you go. If the pet buttons. Definitely. Yeah. There's the code to use. Please. If you guys are going to go check it out, definitely use her code. If you're going to purchase anything, get 20% off and help support Hannah here and her channel and everything she does. It's like I said, everything you do, I've said this to everybody, everything you do is nothing short of amazing. I mean, honestly, cats are not the easiest animal in the world to train. We all know that. They train us most of the time. And I know that in a sense, Russell has trained you, but you gave him the ability to by listening and going the extra mile. And then, like I said, your patience, you've got the patience of a saint to sit there and do the clicker. I mean, I watched one video of you doing that and I was exhausted after watching the video going, oh no. If I had to sit there and wait for my cat to actually look at what I wanted them to look at and then click that thing, I'd be here all day just to click it once.
Yes, I definitely understand that. I feel like maybe what helps me is that I've actually never had a dog. Like, I didn't grow up with a family dog. We always had cats. So maybe if I had a dog and I knew how easy it was to train a dog, I would probably have less patience. But it was also, COVID, and I didn't really have anything else to do. So, I had the time.
I think a lot of things came out of that. I mean, I know it was an awful thing to go through, and a lot of people, did not fare well, and I get that. But at the same time, I think everybody kind of had to figure out what to do with themselves without constantly being able to just run here and run there, and they had to just hold still for a little bit. So I think a little bit of good did come out of people having to just sit still for a little while. Definitely. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was going to say, and shelters emptied because people adopted more pets. So
yeah, I know. Unfortunately, though, after that lifted, they all filled up again.
Yeah,
because people just wanted a temporary they use it. So many people use that as a form of entertainment. And then as soon as that was over with and they went back to work, they were like, okay, don't have time anymore. It's like, that's not what this works.
No.
So please, people, I'm just going to say this because you guys know me. I'll get on my soapbox if the opportunity presents itself. And here's my soapbox.
Please,
please. If you are going to get a pet, please make sure that you know what you're getting into. Please make sure that this is a lifetime. You understand that this is a lifetime obligation. When you have a child, you don't go and put your kid up for adoption when they're 5 years old just because, oh, I've got to go back to work and I can't handle this anymore. That's not what you do, and you don't do that with pets. So please, people, make sure you understand what you're getting into before you get into it, and don't change your mind later on, because it's not fair to the pet, it's not fair to the shelters, and it's not fair to all the other animals out there that now are out of a spot in a shelter because you went back on your obligation. So please, that's the end of my rant. I'm off my soapbox now. Yes. So Dee was asking, what button does Russell use the most?
It ebbs and flows. So I would say at the current moment, he actually presses the kibbles button the most. But Russell's not food motivated. He doesn't really care about that. He will let me know if the other cats need food. He's just not necessarily like a big food guy himself. But he presses kibbles because he likes to play chase. It's fulfilling for him. He's going to chase down his prey and eat it. And he feels really good. And he gets a ton of exercise, which I'm happy with. And we just always have little variations of how to play. So sometimes I have to bounce the kibble. Sometimes I have to, roll it on the floor so we can stop it right with his paw. But it's just kind of fun to see like how he wants to play every day. But I would say right now the most used button is kibbles. But usually
I see him doing the fluffy one a lot.
Feather toy? Oh, Puffy. Puffy.
Oh, Puffy. Puffy. Sorry. Yeah, Puffy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that's the one I've seen a lot in your videos.
Just a little, I have one right here. It's just a little pom-pom, actually, just like a craft store pom-pom.
I have a bunch of those.
Dollar store. Yeah, there you go. Dylan got really nervous that Teen was going to swallow one. It's Teen's, This is Teen's life. His whole life is Puffy. And so I tried to get bigger ones, and then he didn't have any interest in the bigger ones. So we just kind of stuck with the small size. But he loves to press Puffy, I think, on behalf of Teen. Like, because
that's so cute.
Running when he hears it. So yeah,
that's so cute. So there you go, you guys. See that's how easy it is to entertain cats sometimes. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. So to go along with my rant, just so you understand, things are not as expensive as some people make them out to be. Sometimes you can have those simplest things. Wonderful rant, Kim. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
I always try not to step too far over the bounds, but Catitude, I'm always a big fan of the soapboxes. Yes, Catitude is my friend on the soapbox. She will get on the soapbox with me every day.
I'm right there with you.
On the same side of it. So yeah. Mary Miles, we all know that our kitties know what we are saying. This is a great way to find out what they are saying back. Maybe. Yes, Mary, I think that's a wonderful, wonderful point. I think, like as I said, you are like the epitome of a wonderful cat owner, a pet owner, period, because you have actually taken the time to not only love your animal, but love who your animal is, and you want to know what they're thinking as much as you want them to know what you're thinking. And I think that's a piece that a lot of people don't quite put into play. They're like, I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to me and come be my little pet, my little support thing. But they don't listen to their animal very much. Because I don't think people realize that you can listen to them. They are talking to us. They do know how to communicate. You just have to give them the tools to do it. And you have done that in an amazing way with an amazing cat. And I love the fact that he speaks on behalf of the other cats. That's so cute.
Thank you so much for all of your kind words. I am just so happy to be able to do this, and I'm right there with you on the soapbox. People will ask me sometimes like, oh, I would be so excited to get a kitten, and I'm like, know what you're getting into, know how much it is, know what kind of time you have, what kind of energy they're going to have, and it's more than just like having a cat. So right. I'm definitely right there with you.
Oh yeah, at this point people are always like, hey Kim, I got a kitten. I'm like, no. And they're like, but you already have 19. What's one more? I'm like, no, you don't understand. I know my limitations, and I know my house's limitations. And right now we are literally teetering on the edge of war in my house. If I brought one more, it's just not, because they at the end of the day they are still animals, and they will eventually take on that pack mentality where they like divide and conquer. And I'm sorry, I'm not having West Side Story snapping across my living room with two different factions coming together. I'm not doing that.
It's like that here sometimes.
right, yeah. You have a few, yeah. No, so I'm very careful about what I do. I mean, the Chewy was not supposed to happen, but like I said, he is a very, very loved cat. I love the fact that he's here. He's my only ginger. I finally have a ginger. Yes, he's the only one. I kept saying for the longest, I'm like, I don't have a ginger. I don't have a ginger. And then my roommate brings home a kitten, and I'm like, I have a ginger. Yay! And it just so happened that Chewy's got just enough attitude to have fit in just perfectly.
Oh, I love it. That's
Yep.
awesome.
But
That's
no
something
more.
that I definitely. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was going to say that's definitely something I preach as well as introducing a new cat and make sure that, you know, you're doing it slowly and properly. And it's just so important for the relationship that the already existing cats have the time to like get to know and know the new smells and, you know, just do it right. Because if you do it right, then it's so rewarding, which clearly in your house you can see.
No, I'm a bad example of that, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't have very much patience. I'm not like you. You, like I said, you have the patience of a saint in my book because I don't have those patience. But when I've gotten cats, I let them guide the whole thing. If I bring in a new cat, I bring it in a carrier, and I set that carrier in the middle of the main room. I let everybody get their little hissing and sniffing out, whatever, while that cat's protected and nobody can get hurt. And then after like an hour or so, I will open the door and let that cat decide when they want to come out and let the other cats sniff a little more. And I know there's going to be some batting. There's going to be some hissing. That's just how it goes. You can't avoid it. Mm-hmm. But it has literally taken me just a matter of hours on every one of these cats because I let them run it. I let them decide what they want to do. And they've all done really, really well, which I have very much lucked out on that. So please don't use my example as like the norm because I don't think it is. It's not the norm. It usually takes days.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, I feel like we definitely took like a week to introduce the cats, but Winnie and Libby had just been so established in our family with just like me, Dylan, Winnie, and Libby. So it was just like, okay, we need to make sure that everybody's comfortable here.
And I think that's probably another factor there. You had just those two for so long that you had to take the time. Me, because they've been introduced, it hasn't been that long in between them.
True.
So yes. I think it might have been a little easier for me for that reason. So Dee was checking in with a question. Says, do you think other cats realize Russell is speaking on their behalf?
It's hard to say if the cats are like, Russell is speaking for me, but the principle of the buttons is just associative learning. So when they hear one of the buttons and the sound that comes out of the button, they'll associate that with, you know, whatever it is. So Russell really likes, I'm actually not going to say the word because I don't want her to get really excited, but LASER is a button that I know Russell presses for my cat Winnie, because anytime she presses it, she could be in like the deepest slumber in the back of the closet. She's right there. That is her.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because my next question was going to be that. And I don't want to say it out loud then if that's that that touchy. So you do have one of those and they do enjoy playing with it. Do they all play with it?
Yes, all of them play with it. Winnie loves it the most. Teen usually interrupts and tries to, you know, go after it the most. A trick that I learned that I would like love to share is just the laser can be kind of frustrating for cats at times. So like when you're playing with it, to make sure that you always lead them to food or a toy when playtime is complete, it kind of like satisfies the hunt. So that's something that I try to do as well whenever we play laser, just so it's not an activity that they just are like, where is this red dot? And I'm going to be crazy about it. And then, you know.
That is so, I never thought of that because I've always watched, okay, I can't do it. I can't use that thing in my house anymore because it's like the running of the bulls in Pamplona. It honestly is. And somebody is going to get hurt. So, I mean, at this point we can't, but not with hardwood floors and all of them coming around a corner, just like Tokyo drifting around the corner.
Oh my goodness.
Oh no, it's crazy. So I can't do that anymore. But what I did, I always noticed that when I'd turn it off and I'd be done playing, they'd all just walk around with their nose on the floor, just looking for it anymore. But you make a good point. Make it rewarding in the end, so that there is a goal, there is a resolution to it. I never thought of that. But that's a very good point. You guys pay attention to Hannah. She's a smart lady. Very smart lady. I would have never thought of that. Cat,
Thank you.
I had one cat that took a year to fit in. Thank goodness for the screen door trick. Yes, definitely. I'm a big fan of the screen door. Yep, definitely. I know there was one. Jenna, I'm going to step on your toes for just 1 second because there was something that was said earlier. Thank you. I always try to make sure that you know. Ruby Dawn had made a comment earlier. It says, fun fact, if a cat has 60% white and a color, it's called a van. So creamsicles are actually ginger vans.
That's so cool. All right.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I'd never heard of that before. I was wondering if you had heard of it. That's why I wanted to grab it and show it.
No, I've never heard of that, but I love it. I'll start using it.
I like that. The creams. It's a ginger. Oh, Russell's a ginger van. That's so cute.
Oh God, he's so cute right now. I'm gonna take a picture on my phone and just hold it up to the screen because he's literally so adorable right now. See the puffy in the background. This is Russell currently.
Oh my gosh, there you go. He's so cute. Look at him just curled up. It's so nice. It's so nice that he knows when something is important going on. So he knows just to kind of go, I'm just gonna go take a nap and let mom deal with what she's got to deal with. You are a wonderful, wonderful pet mom. You really are. I admire you so much, and I'm certainly gonna keep on your channel because you've got so much knowledge and so much just inspiration to share with the world. You really do. I'm so impressed with everything that you've done, everything that you've got to say, and how just dedicated you are. Because I see so many people that they just have a pet, and it's like you know. Do you understand that it can be so much more? It can be a life. It can be a best friend. It can be so much more than just a pet if you would just let it. So to see you treat them like family members, and that's just I love that so much. That means so much.
You're making me cry. Thank you.
I know, because you really are. And you need to hear that. You need to know that people see that in you, because I'm sure that you've got your fair share of trolls in your comment section, just like I do and like everybody else gets. You need to know that you are doing a wonderful, wonderful job, and people should definitely be on your channel. They should definitely be watching you. So you guys, please, please, please. We just had her YouTube channel up on there. There we go. Please, you guys. Definitely go there. Definitely subscribe to her channel. Definitely just go and show her some love in her comments and give her some likes, because she is a wonderful, wonderful pet owner, and I'm definitely inspired by you. And I think I might actually look into getting some buttons and giving it a try with my two that have the springs, because I mean, if there's something I do know is, you know, you got to pay attention to what your animals are telling you, whether it's a cat or a dog, doesn't matter. So yeah, so definitely pay attention to your animals, pay attention to what they're saying. And I'm paying attention now that Sadie and Chewy love those springs and they play fetch. And if Russell played fetch too, I see that as a common denominator that maybe I should get the buttons.
Definitely. Or a super vocal cat, or, you know, a cat that's really, really, really interested in something. Russell just loved to play. And so I was like, okay, well, we'll give you I'll give you a play button, and then, you know, words for all of your toys, so he can ask what he actually wants to play with. So
are these the kits you can get, Jenna? Is that what you pulled up?
This is from the website that Hannah was referencing earlier, and it looks like they have, you know, maybe a questionnaire. I didn't go through it, but they kind of show like what kind of maybe learner your cat is. So there's a lot of tips on the website as well with, you know, how to use the buttons too. So that was great information, Hannah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, because I think I definitely want to. And you know, one of these days I'm gonna like get a hold of you on Instagram or something, and I'm gonna be like, oh my God, they learned the buttons. I gotta show you.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Something that I just always make sure that I let everybody know is that we were inspired by a channel called Billy Speaks and her mom, Kendra. So when I was in grad school, I actually remember coming across Hunger for Words on Instagram, and I was like, a dog is using these buttons to talk. It was so crazy. And in grad school, I was like, Russell could do this, you know, like he's really smart, just, you know, passing thought, whatever. It was one of those things that I just never thought about again until, you know, 2 years later. And then here we are, and I downloaded TikTok and I saw Billy Speaks using the buttons, and I was like, oh, if a cat can do this, Russell can do this, like no problem. And so we are 100% inspired by Billy Speaks. So if you guys, you know, are browsing for channels to watch, you can check out our channel at Catmanjohn, but please also check out Billy Speaks, because she is amazing.
Yep, I agree 100%. That's awesome. Thank you for telling us where you came up with the inspiration, because, you know, like I said, you're an inspiration yourself, and somewhere along the line you were inspired. So yes, Dee Nelson, I couldn't agree with you more. She will make us all better pet parents. Yes, she will. I agree with that 100%. Yes, the sentiment is shared. Catitude. Oh, I would love to see Chewy and Tater Tot working with the buttons. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get the buttons, and I'm gonna give it a try, because I mean, I don't know how to, I don't know. There's so many similarities between what you're saying about Russell and what I have with Chewy and Tater Tot, because they want to play constantly. And at first I was thinking it's just because they're kittens, but Sadie is now almost, well, she's about a year and a half now. So she's kind of getting beyond the kitten thing. So I'm thinking maybe, they could learn it. I can't wait to send you. I can't wait to send you that message on Instagram and go, they learned.
I can't wait to see it. We're manifesting this is going to happen, so I'm very excited for it to happen.
Oh yeah, you put it out there and it'll happen.
Yes, definitely. Oh, that's so exciting.
Yes, I'm so excited. Okay, so I know that you probably have a lot going on today. You usually do. I have a lot going on today because I got pipes that I've got to deal with.
Oh gosh, so cold.
Listen, today's the last day of the cold snap, and then tomorrow and Thursday it's supposed to be fine, and then Friday and Saturday it's going to go below zero again, but then after that it's going to be 40s. So we've only got a couple more days to deal with, and we'll be out of this, thank goodness.
Good. Yes, very good.
But yeah, so go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I have a soapbox moment. If you don't mind, I have just something that I just wanted to make sure that I
go for it. Rant away
as well. I think like a big inspiration for mine, like since I was a child, was actually watching the My Cat from Hell TV show. I just always remember watching that, like not really watching cartoons or things, and just always taking in the message that like it's not the cat's fault. You know, it's definitely like the owners need to make accommodations for the cat. You're bringing something into your house, you need to make that thing feel comfortable. So I just want to make sure that like my overarching theme for me and for my channel and for everyone that watches is just to know that your cat is not a jerk. You know, they're not acting out of, they might be acting out of spite if something is wrong for them, but they're not doing it for no reason. If your cat is knocking stuff off the table, if they're peeing outside of the litter box, if they're pooping on the counter or in the bathtub, something's wrong. So definitely make sure that you're listening and keep your ears open to them all the time, because they will teach you way more if you pay attention. End rant.
No, you rant away. You can rant away. Hang on. I've got one that is absolutely dying to come on screen. So hold on.
Oh, please.
I figured you'd want to see. Hold on.
I love when the cats at Kim's decide that they want to be in the show. You know, they're like, let me be on the live stream.
Oh, I saw a big fluffy tail.
That might be my favorite of Kim's kitties. I love the fluffy cats.
Oh.
There she is.
This is my rag doll. This is my princess. She wanted very much to be in here, and she was clawing away at the door.
Oh, I mean, for good reason. She should be on camera. She's so beautiful.
Come here, Tater Tot. Come here, Tater Tot. And this is one of the ones I was talking about. This is Tater Tot.
Tater Tot. So
her name's Sadie, but I call her Tater Tot. But this is one of the ones this is the one that mainly plays fetch constantly. So I'm going to try it with her.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I know.
Oh, one of the other things that I was going to say, actually, you just reminded me when you were talking about how your 1-year-old cat was still really interested in play. That is something that actually Kendra at Billy Speaks has mentioned, that she didn't realize that her 11-year-old cat always wanted to play. So I feel like there is kind of a stigma about cats as they get older, they just sleep more, they don't want to play anymore. That's definitely something that was not true for Billy. And Russell is going to be 8 in May, and he is just as active as he was as a kitten. All my cats are just constantly running around, and it's really fun to see. So,
yeah, it's funny that so is Russell the oldest or no?
Winnie and Libby are sisters from the same litter, and then Russell and Teen are 2 years younger from the same litter, like totally different. We got
the older two are
10. Say that again.
So the older two are 10 years old.
The older two will be 8 in May.
Okay, I thought you said okay. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, my oldest is 14.
Oh wow!
And she still everybody here knows Feline. She still runs around like a kitten. She's if you see her, you would never guess she was 14 because she does not show any signs of being an elderly cat. But at 14, she is considered a senior cat. Actually, she's an elderly cat, but she doesn't show any signs of it at all. None whatsoever. Wow. No, she still jumps on everything. She still plays. She still does whatever. Her eyes are clear. So yeah, pray that all the cats live long lives and are very healthy. Yes. Deborah's checking in. She says, thank you so much, Hannah, for all the expertise we can use for our beloved pets. Yes. And like she said, and this goes for both of us, I think. We were talking about this before the show. Neither of us have any formal schooling in this. neither of us are an expert on your cats. We are experts on our cats. And all we can do is share what we've learned through our cats and hope that somewhere out there people can take that learning and apply it in their situation. But as always, I will say this every single time. If you have any questions regarding your pet's health or behavior, please do not go to YouTube. Do not go to TikTok. Do not go to Instagram. Do not go to Google. Go to your local vet. It does not cost anything to call a vet and ask a question. It doesn't. It is completely free, and every one of them, as long as they're a decent vet, excuse me, will be more than happy to answer your question for the well-being of your animal. So yes, at the end of the day, we are just pet owners that are just sharing our experiences and hoping that it just entertains people. Number one, first and foremost, we are here to entertain. And two, to just share our experiences and hope that somebody else can benefit from it. But yes, vets are where you go, not TikTok, YouTube, Google, or Instagram. Please remember that. Yes. Okay. So another rant over. Ruby Dawn says, "Thank you, Hannah. Love to hear your story. I'm so glad you advocate for our cat's voice." Yes, I agree with that very, very much. Okay. So unless you have something else you'd like to share with us, please feel free if you do.
Smacking.
Oh, what is he smacking?
Birdie. He said birdie. Russ,
I'm so glad. Yay.
Can I give you a puffy? So this is interesting. Russell, I'm going to keep the camera on him, but Russell says birdie sometimes when he wants me to throw his toy over his head. But sometimes he says birdie and he looks out the window. So I'm not exactly sure. It's still a learning process for me to understand how he associates the words, because what I think of a birdie and what he thinks is a birdie is two completely different things.
Right.
So maybe there's a bird outside. I don't know.
That's what I was just going to say. Did you check outside? Maybe there's a bird outside.
I guess I'll have to go see. But
he's like, "Mom, look, a bird. Mom, why aren't you looking out the window?"
We get really excited about birds here, and
I'm sure.
I love when they do their little trills and their eeks and everything.
Oh yeah, that's so cute. Yeah, they're adorable. Russell, he's so cute. He's so enjoyable. I just love it so much. Yeah, I can see that. I'm glad he made an appearance, though.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll give everybody another peek at Russ just in case.
He's so cute. Look at him just sitting there being so cute. He's like, "No, that's enough." Oh, Russell's going to say hi. Hi, Russell.
Buddy.
Hi, Russell. There is the amazing Russell. He's so cute. I love his markings on his face. He's so cute.
He's a very sweet boy. He is so sweet.
He's like it. I love it. Well, there you go. You guys got to meet Russell. That's awesome. I was just going to pull this one up real quick. Great point, Hannah. I've always said it's never the animal's fault. Back to what you were saying about, it's never the animal's fault. It's going to be something that you're doing. Yes, definitely. Because an animal is only going to act in response to you. So if you're not paying attention, they're going to act out. If they don't feel good or whatever, they're going to let you know, but you have to be receptive to that. So yeah, so everybody take a moment to listen to your animals today and try to understand what they're saying to you. And just every day, like I've said a million times, guys, first of all, it's progress, not perfection. Nobody is expecting perfection out of anybody. And if you can leave the world a better place than you found it when you woke up, you can always consider your day a success. So yeah, just try to be a little bit better than you were when you woke up. That's all. All right. Princess is back there. All right. Well, Cat2 says, "Hi, Russell." Everybody thinks he's so cute. Russell's so cute. He is. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Love him.
All right, guys. I think we've taken up enough of Hannah and Russell's time this morning. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning so early. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. I really do.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun. And for everybody that is watching, thank you so much for being here. I love the chance to get on and talk about Russell and our story. So thank you so much.
I wanted to bring you to everybody because, I know there was some people that did not know who you were yet, which is unbelievable to me. I'm like, wait, how do you guys not know? We got to talk about this. So yes. So like I said, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you for sharing Russell with us and your story. I appreciate it. Hopefully everybody got a little bit of inspiration. And thank you guys so much for being here with us. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.